Welcome back to another edition of the show. Of course, I'm joined as always by my man up in Cedar Falls, Iowa, Kyle Klingman. How are you today, Kyle?
I'm doing great, man. What a great first name of our guest too. It's like anyone with the name Jordan means greatness.
Yeah, he's one of the greats.
Hey.
So let's just get to it. Jordan Oliver, excited to have him on the show. He's been on, I think, several times before. But welcome back, Jordan. How's things going?
Everything's great. I appreciate you guys bringing me back on the show. It's always a pleasure getting to sit and chat and talk wrestling knowledge and wrestling in general. You know, that's life. And everything's good, man. I'm up here at NYCRTC training. Like I said, it's getting a little chilly up here, but you find ways to make it to your car, to your house, to the wrestling room very, very quick.
Yeah. That's kind of where I wanted to tip off anyways, is the NYRTC. You've been up there, I think, for a couple or a few months now, and talk about the environment. I know you said there's like all these foreign hammers and all kinds of hammers to train with, and Chimizos and Alien. So kind of just give me a lay of the land up there.
It's awesome, right? We have our coaches. We're led by Coach Kendall Cross and Valentin Kalika. I think they're two different sides of the spectrum when it comes to coaching, right? Valentin brings a real foreign side. In his past, he's wrestled Greco. So he shows us little tricks of the trade of the upper body, small little details with the gut wrenches. And then, obviously, we have Kendall Cross, right, who's Olympic champ. His accolades speak for themselves. He's very funky, very creative in his wrestling. So They both bring very unique styles to the table. Um, and it's good working with them, right? We're associated as well with the Columbia University. So those guys get to come in and mix it up. But we have a very unique situation here with, I'm here training. I have my partners that are here, which are Mitch Feinsilver, Nestor Taffer, and right now, like we were talking about, I have, we have Frank Chimizo in, um, obviously wrestles for Italy, and we have Abdo Conchate in, right? And then a couple weeks, we're looking to bring Vlad King Shavilian. So for me, it's an awesome atmosphere, right? Getting to train with the high level, but the best guys, not only in the nation but in the world, right? And being here, I'm an hour and a half drive from the Penn RTC, which has Joey McKenna and Jordan Burroughs and McFadden and Mark Hall, a bunch of hammers down there, right? And then, you look 3.5 hours one way, you look north and Kyle Dake and Yanni Diakmahalis and Vito. And I think the area of wrestling is just awesome. And what we're doing here is amazing. Getting the foreign fields, right? We grew up so much wrestling, uh, the national guys, right? It's good to really train with these foreigners and understand their thought process and thinking through their training and their techniques.
Sure. I'm curious, like every place is probably a little different, but what's I guess what are the what are the practices like? I mean, are Kendall and Valentine, is one of them running practice? I'm sure there's a lot of different ways to train. Are we kind of putting people through the same kind of thing, or is it much more individualized, or kind of just doing our own thing,
I
and coaches are coming around helping or working with and everything?
I think there's a mixture right through the week of Kendall has certain areas he wants to touch on. He's going to lead practice, but you always have Coach Valentine, throwing in, his ideas and what he sees uh, from the outside and his style of wrestling. Like I said, it's unique. He was a Greco wrestler, so his position with hips and head up and hips in and stepping into positions and being able to create angles on a dime, because Greco, you have to be able to do that. It's good. So there's sometimes Kendall runs the practice and there's sometimes Valentine runs the practice, but all in all, I say it's a team effort, right? Both of them are chirping, and we're touching areas that we think we need as a whole, as a team, that we need to work on. And then there's days where we break off and we individualize in areas. We have a board when we walk in the NYCRTC that everybody, it'll say Mitch, Nestor, Jo, Shelton Mack, uh, and the areas that we, think we need to work on, that we wrote up there just visibly. So we're seeing it while we're warming up and we're like, okay, I got to make sure I touch on that area. I got to make sure I keep putting myself in this position. Right. So, it's great, right? And then we have matches, and for me, it's amazing. Uh, Nestor, Mitch, Chimizo, Abdo, to go matches with these guys. I'm wrestling, world championship level tournaments uh, in the room, so it's real good. And these guys are bigger, and obviously, I can get bigger uh, on the bigger side, so
Uh-huh.
I can handle wrestling these guys. But it's good, right? Because I'm getting high level looks, and all of them bring a different, unique style to the table.
We're wrestling a guy like Chimizo, right? What do you gain most from wrestling with him? Is it live wrestling and seeing that weird, freaky thing, or is it slowing it down and getting positions and like talking through it and learning and sharing ideas and everything?
Um, so if you watch any top-notch wrestler, if you watch me go with Kyle Dake, you watch me go with Jordan Burroughs, the understanding is we're gonna drill. Let's play, right? But the competitive nature comes out within 3 minutes of the drill or whatever it is, and it turns into live go, right? So you're sparring, and sometimes you're given situations, but you're wrestling it almost 90 to 100%. I know that for a fact. So with Chimizo, it's kind of the same. It's almost like, okay, let's see what you got. Let's see what I got. But then when we get, towards the end of, the spar, whatever it might have been, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, we start touching positions. And this is when I say it's unique to learn from them because, as an American, we get into positions, maybe a crackdown, maybe a chest wrap, and we're like, okay, where do we go from here? What do we do? What's the feel? What's the position? Right? And we want to break it down almost to a science, almost a math. 2 + 2 = 4. We know that.
Yeah.
Right. But in wrestling, we try to do that with positions. We catch ourselves doing that. And I sat with, Conchate, and I sit with Frank. And it's like you get to the position, where you want to go, get to the position, the next position to score.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about a chest wrap and the feel I got to move. When I shoot, I got to be in good position when I shoot because I got to be able to move to the next position to score.
Uh-huh.
Right. So they almost drill. There's not drill to the position sometimes and then wrestle it. It's set up, shot, finish. And that's how it's done. Right. And they go directly through it. It's not let's shoot, get to the position, and then wrestle it. They're all about the real feel of the position. Where sometimes, we get caught in the room getting in position and we're making ourselves stronger. We're doing some things that technically aren't going to happen on the mat when adrenaline and nerves are running, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So it gives you that sense of real training. But Frank is very, he's very a mirror image. If I were to say if there's one wrestler that it's hard to wrestle, right? It's almost like the mirror image of yourself, a guy that can move, change levels, and can explode through you, right? If I had to wrestle my worst opponent, it's somebody that wrestles like me, right? Because I'm a movement wrestler, and for me, it's getting me off balance as well. So Frank brings something to the table that, we're so similar in our style of from the outside of movement level changing that, he's almost it's cool to play because he's almost a step ahead of me sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And he's seeing things because he's like, okay, I know where he's going. So it makes me react and adjust. So it's a game of chess, right? And it's deep chess. It's like, I'm going to throw this bait out here. I know he's looking for it. He's taking it. I'm rerouting him to try to score. But, one thing he brings to the table is he's good everywhere. Even, sometimes you see in matches, he gives up his front leg. He's like a freaking statue to move. So it's good.
It's impossible.
If I know I'm getting in some positions with him and scoring, or getting to a scoring opportunity,
Yeah.
I know against anybody else I'm scoring.
Uh-huh.
Right. So he's very, very athletic. He's like a super athlete. Hey, we just started going in and doing lifts here at the NYCRTC, and I took Frank in to lift with me. It's the first time he ever lifted. Doesn't know the technique, anything, and just power cleans like 185, 225. I'm like, this guy is just an animal.
And he used to be like what, 57, right? He was a little guy.
Yeah, 55.
55, yeah.
55.
55. Was that his first title? 55?
55.
Unreal.
I think maybe he won or he took bronze.
Yeah, he medaled.
I think his first title was at 65, right? Vegas.
Yep.
But the dude's moves up the ranks, and he's all of 78 kilos.
Yeah, he's a big boy. I want to actually go back. I believe your last competition was the World Team Trials, back in September, up at 70 kilos, and a bear of a bracket. You and Zane, who some people could maybe consider the 1 and 2 seeds. You guys were 4 and 5, so you met in the quarterfinals. I'm gonna kind of play some of this match, and I just want to kind of talk to you about like wrestling a guy like Zane. One, somebody you've wrestled so many times. Two, he just seems like he moves nonstop. He's in and out. He's banging. He's very physical. Just kind of your take on wrestling Zane.
He's a very productive wrestler, right? So having to wrestle him, you're getting into a battle. It's going to be a hands battle. He's pressing the pace. So right? I want to do a good job of keeping him off balance, right? As you see right in the beginning, I'm level changing to make him adjust to how he's putting pressure with his hands, right? And obviously, I'm looking for a score. That right there allows me to push him to not the center of the mat, but now I'm controlling. Now he doesn't want to put so much pressure. Because I came out, I scored, right? I'm showing the same fakes, level changes, and wrestling Zane. As much as he moves, you have to move on top of it, right? So here, I love playing the edge of the mat. I think a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
But this is one time, right? Zane, I wrestled Zane so many times that Zane takes. He's very calculated, right? So I was banking on him to take that shot. Obviously, I didn't give myself enough room. Zane is a very smart, calculated wrestler. So when
Yeah.
he sees the edge, in his previous years, he would rush that shot. There, he didn't. Um, I really wanted to re-attack that shot, right? I even was looking chest wrap, but I was too far on the edge to play it.
Uh-huh.
Um, so it was just baiting him into some habits that he has. And now here is just, holding position, and I got to keep making him react. Here at 70, though, I'm a little bit stronger, so I can absorb Zane a little bit more.
Okay.
And right now, it's just Zane's very good if you try to attack his lead leg in the open. As you see when I fake, he brings it back every time. He's very good at getting his feet back and putting pressure, right? So I don't want to take a dumb shot because Zane, one thing he's very good at, all Penn State guys are, they make you pay when you shoot. They re-attack you, right? But
Yeah,
uh,
absolutely.
putting pressure on Zane has to be calculated, right? I can put pressure on him with fakes, right? And it's not necessarily taking ground, but it's just keeping him honest, right? And for me, I'm protecting. We're lefty to righty. One of Zane's best shot is a single leg, right? So I got to be very, anal how I step on my front leg. And he's very, very conscious about his front leg as well. He'll always move it every time I fake. So when
There you
you
go.
see,
Yeah.
he
On
moves it.
cue.
He's very good at moving that front leg because he knows one of my best shots is my single, right? And in the
Yeah.
beginning, he kind of pushes me into it, but you can see right at the end, right? He does a very good job. This is into the second.
Yeah.
You always try to get a quick score, right? I try to set tempo right away in the beginning of a match with my fakes. And if I can, 9 out of 10 times when I'm shooting double, guys can't pull me up. Now Zane, he's a different alien. He's very, very strong, right? Um, that I knew that situation was no good for me, right? It could have only ended in a takedown when he pulled me up, right? So it's really just let him push and take Matt and give up the one, not two, right? Because now I'm still within a one score match. Here again is just being able to stay in a phone booth with him, right? Stay close to him, make him feel me, make him feel my fakes, and wait until a shot opens up, right? Being ready to catch hands. I'm allowing, right? I'm playing the game here, right? When you
Yeah.
see me whipping the hands down, I'm playing the game. I'm letting the ref know, hey, he's grabbing hands,
Yeah.
right? You'll always see me with a catcher's mitt up when I know a guy likes to grab. It's just that if he wants to grab fingers, watch it, right? So
Are you
there,
trying to
I try to
bait him
even,
into grabbing fingers?
yes, because soon as he grabs, if you rewind it just maybe 10 seconds, I show him the fingers and try to use it as a setup and go misdirection back leg right here. So you see my hands up. I see him holding as soon as he clinches. I fake single and I try to go
Yeah.
back leg. He does a real good job of his reaction. He's really good at getting head and hands down and moving lateral, off of the shot. And that's just good defense by him. He's very good on the re-attack. So, his habits are good to move off at angles. And if the shot opens up, he takes it. Here, to me, it's just, make this guy wrestle in positions that I know. Obviously, short time. I was very surprised he got out of that duck.
Is this a
Um,
match you've watched?
I haven't.
No. Do you typically
watched.
watch many of your matches?
I do. I watched this actually right after I wrestled him, just to see what I was doing before I wrestled James Green and what I had to change.
Okay.
Right? Even just that drop fake I just hit on him and I sat down. You see when I hit James with that in the beginning of our match. And this is crazy he got out of that. That was unreal. When he got out of that, I was like, I cannot believe I didn't
Can you pull
score.
that
It was
back,
short
Tyler? I
time,
want to see that
right?
one more time. I mean, he was like on his hip.
Yes. And he just freaking arm up, last chance, just like catches me and
Wow.
doesn't allow me to go around. And I was in the air, so I couldn't like put my feet down to run the angle.
Sure. Yeah.
But
You
what
were
I was saying
floating.
is when I did that drop fake, you saw in the beginning of James's match, he goes cross pick on me to make me feel it, right? To make me come out of that drop fake. So James did his homework. I needed to make that adjustment, right? And even here, if I'm being honest with myself, I'm standing too high, right? I'm giving up ground. I should be pushing here 30-second sprint. Everybody does this in the room. This is something we practice for years, going back, to Zeke Jones days. Zeke Jones at USA Wrestling Adventure Training.
Mm-hmm.
Something we do in the room. Kendall, Valentine put us in. And it's just a 30-second sprint here. This was actually something I was proud of myself on, because I drilled this with the Georgians that were in just the 2 months before this, of just getting to a single. They're getting good defense and driving up that underhook position,
We see it again,
right?
Tyler. You pull it back maybe 20 seconds.
Right. Usually I would pull out here. Every
Yeah.
time I would pull out, try to recreate an angle, hit another attack. Right here of working, of just building into the body, cutting off
Yeah.
him circling out of the underhook, keeping head across, and then building into the underhook. Right. So it ended up winning me the match here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And I think all that happens is they challenge it and it's not right. And then we watch the
that's
last
it.
10 seconds.
And then I do the tiptoeing.
What's the tiptoe?
Just moving around, jumping in
Oh,
the air.
of course. Here,
Right. Jumping out of shots.
yeah. You know Zane's gonna come
Right.
for you hard.
Reese is actually here yelling at me. He's like, "Stay in the center. Stay in." I'm like, "Relax, Reese. 5 seconds. I'm not giving up this point."
You look so relaxed,
See,
but
telling the ref. You got to tell the ref. There's the tiptoe. Just
there it is.
the small circle. So, but wrestling, Zane, you got to be balled in. Even after, after the whistle blows, right, going out of bounds. You have to be ready. Oh, this is my cat. I'm
I
sorry.
thought I heard something. I was like, who's
Yeah,
in here?
it's my little line.
What's yours?
So you got to win the small battles with Zane, right? Even if I'm being, hard on myself, I got to win the mat more with Zane, right? He wins the mat. He makes you forced to take the mat, pushes you in the shots. He pushed me out twice there. I can't have that later, against better opponents or even against Zane next time. But the small battles, right? Beating them back to the center, right? You know, pushing them out of bounds, having the last hands on them after the whistle.
Yeah.
Right? Just those little battles where you're just like, I'm here and I'm here to fight.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm here. I'm going to wrestle you and I'm going to fight you for 6 minutes. You got to let Zane know that, because if not, he takes over a match with his hands and his pace. And Zane's a very nice dude. Love the guy. But he gets mean on the mat. Right?
I've seen
So
it.
you have
Doesn't
to
look fun.
be ready, because he will in a heartbeat try to put you in a bow and grab your face and
Touch your head, do
turn
your
you.
toes.
So exactly. So he's a great wrestler, but when he's on the mat, he's mean, and that's the way you got to be.
I guess you mentioned potentially next time you wrestle Zane, obviously Olympic trials 65, 70 for the world team trials. Where do you see yourself in the 2022?
So right now we're kind of it's in the air, right? We want to go 70, but the way the procedures are of picking how to go to ranking tournaments and what tournaments we're allowed to compete in overseas. For me, it's about the opportunity to compete, right? Steady competing, going to put my skills to the test. Um, Ultimately, put myself in position to win a world championship. Uh, with that being said, 65 or 70 is where I'm looking to compete. Wherever I can compete, I'm going to compete. Um, Longevity and the perfect plan is we stay at 70 this year.
Uh-huh.
Right? Let my body heal. Let us work on just getting better at wrestling and not worrying about any weight cuts or any weight we have to get off. Right? Let's get better at wrestling. And the goal is 2024, right?
Yeah.
If that's what we're talking about, we're not going to overlook these world title years. But if I'm looking for longevity for Jordan Oliver, and the same with my team, with Kendall and Valentine and Sunkist, right? We want to be looking to 2024. What's going to make through these years? Yes, winning is great. Getting better is the goal, right?
Yep.
Being primed for 2024. But if we're looking for an Olympic title, like I've always said, a world championship title comes along with that.
Yep. So how does as far as nutrition goes, right? How do you address that? Does it change much going 65 versus 70? How do you handle nutrition?
I think one of the big things of nutrition, I don't think it changes necessarily going 65 and 70 if we're talking about the disciplined eating, the scheduled eating, also getting your body the right things that it needs. Right. And now that we're getting into this, one thing that is huge, that I always use, that I do use, whether it's during competition or outside competition, uh, it's very clean eating, and I use two things. One I want to always give a shout out to my meal prep sponsor, which is Eat Clean. But on the big nutrition side, one product that backs me, that I use every day throughout my training, is my UCAN products. Right? It's a great company, and it's exploding, but it's scientifically backed, right? And it's good, and it's natural for the body, right? So they have something patented that's called a super starch, right? And if for me, of making 65 the previous 2 years, and maintaining 65 and being able to compete at the highest level, right? I have to have the energy and the nutrition, to get through not only my weight cuts and my workouts, but I got to be able to get through the day. Nobody ever wants a miserable person moping around, especially not my girlfriend, not my coaches, uh, and being home here, especially not my family. They're excited. I haven't been home since 2008, right? So I'm close to home, and UCAN is able to do that for me, right? On top of clean eating and all my nutrition, UCAN's something that I use, and I think it's such a great product, just because, if we're getting away from the sports of it right now, of why it was developed, and I think it's a cool little story of why UCAN was developed. It was actually developed to keep children alive throughout the night, and it children that had this very rare metabolic disease. It was called GSD, right? So it was a glycogen storage disease, right? And one of the owners of UCAN, his son's name's Jonah, right? They invested in the science of finding out really what they can do to help these kids that were, you know, basically passing away throughout the night because they couldn't keep their glycogen levels up, right? And like I said, one of the owners, his son, had this rare disease, right? So they ended up going on this journey of figuring out and different, scientific and trial and error of what they can do. In 2009, for the first time ever, they used this, patented superstructure that they have that helps, not only keep your glycogen levels up, but it helps maintain throughout the day. So in Jonah's case, it would be throughout the night when he was going to sleep, right? And in 2009, when he was, I believe, 7 years old, was the first time, he was able to sleep throughout the night. So this company came from trying to help kids with this rare disease, and then they saw how much it could help, athletes in sports, right? And I got to sit down with one of the owners of UCAN. His name's Peter Kaufman, and this is about a couple weeks, getting into 65. I just moved down to North Carolina, but I got in touch with Peter, and we got to sit down and break down the science, because when I'm making 65, I'm like a mad scientist of the things I put in my body, how I recover, and the best ways to do that. And I got to sit with Peter because I was doing all these different things, and I didn't even use UCAN at the time. We sat down, and he introduced me to all these different products. And one thing that I pride myself on is I did the science and the research throughout the years. Right? Because I was like, how am I ever going to make 65 kilos, come off the scale, and wrestle the best? I was like, I'm probably going to cramp. I'm going to fall over. There's no way. Years before, it was day before weigh-in,
Yeah.
and I was having trouble. So I really had to buy in and really do my research. And, one of these things in my recovery drink were a liquid carb I was putting in. And one thing it had is it had a better absorption rate than most of any liquid carbs, because the molecule in it, and I don't want to get too scientific because it's going to sound crazy, but the molecules were bigger in it, so it was easier to absorb, the body to absorb it. And that's what I was using. And I come to find out after talking to Peter and UCAN, that's the same thing they're using in the super starch, and what makes it very quickly absorbable, but also gives the longevity of your glycogen levels. But it's absorbable, and it was the super starch, and they had it in common. But one thing that the UCAN product had, it was all natural. Right. And for us, that's huge. Being all natural, knowing what you're getting in the product, but knowing that also it's scientifically backed, and you don't have to worry about, can I take this product and compete?
Yeah.
Right. So after talking with Peter, not only did I use this in my recovery drink, right, that I use after weigh-ins, right, because I wasn't eating after weigh-ins. I was putting the super starch with my electrolytes, my glucose, my potassium, my water, and I was just drinking 3 of these shakes, and that was my meals for the first hour.
Wow.
And so it was huge. But also, like, when you go into cutting weight, it's just not only performing. You got to be able to perform throughout the days to maximize your workouts leading up into the events, right?
Yeah.
So I needed to be my best, or get my maximum training I could out of every single day, and make it a habit to be able to be, peak Jordan at the time I needed to be. So this helped me throughout, even the days. But what was big for me, it was the nighttime. Anybody that can attest to cutting weight is when you go to sleep, that time you wake up at 3, 4 in the morning, and you're just like, oh, I am hungry, right? Or I need a little bit of sugar, right? And as soon as you have some sugar, you're like back to sleep, just like a baby. So what this did with the super starch, not the energy one, the energy one is what I would put in my recovery drink that had the super starch in it. There's the energy, and I like lemon. All the other flavors are a little bit different. Lemon goes good with my gummy worm.
All right.
I got a gummy worm flavored VCA, but there's a regular non-flavored super starch that I would take, just a protein shake just before the nighttime, that helped me sleep throughout the night without my glycogen levels dropping, because I was cutting weight. I was very specific at night what I was eating. 1 pound to 2 pounds of fish, right? I was getting a starch from my sweet potatoes, and then my greens, whether it was asparagus, broccoli, whatever it may have been that night. But then I started putting this shake together right before I went to bed, and I was getting sleep throughout the night, and it was helping me maintain. And for me, sleep is so important. Any athlete, but me cutting weight. I mean, I woke up in the morning. If I didn't get good sleep, I was trying to kill my partner, right? And I probably got close to doing it sometimes. So, um, UCAN has brought a different side, not only, to the shakes, to the recovery for me in my daily life, but just throughout the day. They have great products that I haven't even mentioned. That's like, throughout tournaments, they have these energy gels, right? So you don't have to punch in a big bowl of pasta or something that you want to get energy, that you think that's going to give you instant energy, but you're really not using it for, you know, 16 to 24 hours later, right? You got to give
Yeah.
your body time to break it down. So this is kind of like a quick punch and easy way for your body to access the energy and the carbs, the nutrients it needs to perform. So they got these things like energy gels. Obviously, they have one of my favorites is the bars, right? Because me making 65, not only the first day I got to make weight, the second day.
Yeah.
So, I'm using the drink. Um, the energy drink I stopped using probably around 4, just because obviously I want my body to start kicking down.
Yeah.
But the starch I use throughout the day. But they have small bars that I like. The best one, and I even wrote it down just to make sure I mentioned this, was the cherry berry almond bar. Right, big cherry fan, but there's chocolate peanut butter and all of that. But the cherry berry, it's different. Right? I
Yeah.
think that's the best one. But they have all these little unique things that are all enhanced with the super starch. That's, the key thing is everybody gets their carbs and they get this heavy spike. But after you eat a lot of pasta or something in that nature where you get that spike, the next thing that follows is a nap. You're like, oh, it's time to get cozy, right?
Yeah.
So this kind of helps control that. It doesn't give you necessarily the spike, that real high from the sugar. It gives you the necessity that you need, but also maintains throughout the day, so you don't ever get the crash. Um, so, like I said, it's very huge in my recovery, but throughout my daily life. So if you're new to it, try the vanilla or the chocolate granola. Right, that's something you can snack on all day, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Right, so if you want to get more scientific with it, and I know guys nowadays are doing all these shakes. Right, this is something you can add to the shakes, and it's covering your carb. Instead of having to eat things, guys come off the scale and they eat stuff. Right, it's just for the taste. They might get the sugar from it and they get the rush, but it's for the mental satisfaction of, okay,
I
I just
do.
ate something good, my stomach feels full.
Yeah.
But tell me, those same guys will tell you, I didn't feel fueled. I don't know. I didn't recover, right? Because your body ain't breaking that down in the time. There's 2 hours that we have for weigh-ins to disperse it, right? So, uh, simple things that UCAN brought to the table was, now you're getting a liquid carb, but that's sustaining you throughout the day, right? So it's real important if guys know the science and the recovery of how they're putting their shakes together. And
Yeah.
I don't want to go too far into that, but that is something that helped me tremendously. Just this product alone, but also, knowing one's body, knowing what you have to do off the scale. Nobody, whoever watches this, whoever is watching this, any of the wrestlers, guys, eating right off the scale does nothing but satisfy your mind. Right? Feed your body with the right things, the electrolytes. Liquid carbs are huge, guys. Water, glucose, and it'll take you to another level, I believe. Right? Once I started doing this using UCAN, but doing it with my shakes coming off the scale, I never got the burn. And everybody knows in the country, my process to make 65 kilos.
Not easy.
It wasn't easy. So this is something that, you know, if you like it, look into it. This is something that sounds good for you. Try it out. It won't do anything but benefit you.
Yeah.
Right? If
And
this is something that you think is way left field, that's fine too.
It's gotten so scientific. Like you said, it used to be get off the scale, eat something, but your body can't process it. And I've got a chance to chat with UCAN guys, and they are awesome. And the story how it came, which you mentioned was incredible. And I do appreciate them. They're sponsoring this episode of the show. The company that's redefining energy and fueling wrestlers to their personal best. UCAN. You can visit ucan.com/flow to learn how a lot of top wrestlers train with UCAN. Use the code FLOW for 20% off of your purchases. But yeah, I know I used to eat like peanut butter and jellies because in high school, and then in college you'd eat bagels and power bars and stuff.
Hey,
But it's just
PB
so
and
much.
J ain't bad.
Yeah. Well,
That comes in the second hour for me.
yeah. But it is
Yeah,
interesting, right? As you evolve as a wrestler, you're on the mat stuff, which we spend a lot of time talking about with guys like you, right? How you develop, how you evolve, how you train. But like the other side needs to come with it, right? The nutrition, the diet, all the things, right?
It's,
Like
that was
they'll
the only
complement each
thing that,
other.
yep. That was the only thing that, held me back, right? And even some of the years you can look further back into Oklahoma State, right? I wasn't the best with my nutrition, and it showed sometimes,
Yeah.
right? And when you're trying to be the best, perform at the best, have great performances, you got to take care of that side.
Yeah. And we don't have to dive into it, but I just remember some stories about you at the mess hall or at the student union
Oh yeah,
packing your stuff in your face and Smith. We've already heard them, but those. That's what comes to my mind when I think about you describing your
I was the
former
Chick-fil-A
nutrition.
diet.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great one. I guess I started because I was asking what weight you're going to wrestle, and it sounds like maybe 70 up until 2024. But as far as competition goes, what do you have a competition schedule kind of lined up? Do you know when you'd like to compete again, or somewhat of a schedule that we can look forward to?
So obviously, I would love to get to Rome,
Mm-hmm.
right? Matteo Pellicone, get over there. It's a ranking series, so it counts towards world championships. Excuse me. After that, if I could some way get on USA versus Iran, that would make my day, right? It's
Uh-huh.
Oklahoma State versus
Oh
Iowa.
man. Yeah.
So you
Oklahoma
already
State, yeah.
know it's getting packed. It's going to go crazy. Now you got Iran versus USA, which Iran fans might outweigh USA fans there.
Oh man, it's
But
gonna be they're
the
awesome.
atmosphere is going to be crazy, right? So I would love to do that. Bill, if you're watching this, please consider. But I would love to do that, even attend it. And then I would like to do Istanbul, which is another ranking series at the end of February.
Yeah.
So I want to have a busy, February, and then, take some time down. There's some other things that we have lined up that we're eyeing to maybe go overseas and train for a week or two,
Where?
and get some good training over in Georgia or Ossetia,
Yeah.
which will be good.
That'd
Where
be awesome.
Get different feels and get beat up by those guys. And then, get ready to, one thing that I like where I'm at is it's almost like a tune-up tournament. We're going to do the Bill Farrell, obviously. That's 3 weeks out from the U.S. Open, and then U.S. Open's key, right? At 65 or 70, U.S. Open is key to go and punch your spot for Final X.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at right now. So we're actually waiting to hear back for Rome if it's 65 or 70, because if it's 65, I got to get my butt moving. If it's 70, I'm okay.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, well that's exciting. I know. A lot of people like to watch you wrestle. I like to watch you wrestle, so I'm fired up about those events and getting to see out there shine. We are rolling down to the end of the line, but Kyle Klingman's been sitting patiently over here. I'm thinking of some questions to make you uncomfortable. So Kyle, I'll let you take over.
Don't make me uncomfortable.
Sure. It's our game, Sweat It Out. And fortunately, you have UCAN products to get back after I make you sweat like no other. So you're going to be fine after this.
You're gonna be mad when I say no comment.
Number 1, who did Muhammad Ali fight in the Thrilla in Manila?
Was it George Foreman?
Nope, that was the Rumble in the Jungle.
Dang it. Oh, in Manila?
Hold on. Joe Frazier.
You got it. You got it. Joe Frazier. Number 2, what former world heavyweight boxing champion is from Easton, Pennsylvania?
Larry Holmes, baby. Let's go. That's my
I'd have been
uncle.
disappointed if you didn't get that. Yeah. Number 3, who is the only 3-time NCAA wrestling champion to be the head coach of the Oklahoma State Wrestling Cowboys?
Utaki.
Nope.
No.
The coach, Oklahoma State, be the head coach?
Oh. The coach of Oklahoma State.
A
Yeah, there's only
3-time.
been one 3-time state champ to be the head coach at Oklahoma State.
A 3-time state champ.
NCAA champ.
Eric Guerrero. Is it head coach? Does it have to be head coach?
Be head coach, yep.
Chesborough?
No, it was right before him, though.
It was oh my god. Oh my god. I can't I'm not passing on this one until I come up with
His
it.
name was
Hold on. Were his initials MR?
his
No.
initials are MR.
Okay.
Yep.
I only know a few head coaches from Oklahoma State. But Chesborough and
His
this guy.
initials are MR.
So Myron Roderick.
Yep. He got it. He got
I probably would have
like
got a
it.
call from John like, you're a cowboy.
I like
you know
it.
what I mean? He would have got on me.
Love it.
What I like is that you stayed with it though. Like you were not going to give up on getting that. So that's good.
I couldn't,
That is
not on the Cowboys.
Number 4, what was the last year the Dallas Cowboys won a Super Bowl?
Oh my god. The 96?
So close. So close. I mean, yeah, I think it was 96. It was the 95 season, so I'll have to look into it. So you may have gotten it right.
Hold on.
So-
we got the internet here. We can. What is
Yeah,
it?
let's look,
Cal.
'cause- I think it was 95 season, but let's see if it was the 96 Super Bowl.
1996 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, 27-17. Oh
Let's
wait,
go.
that's NF.
Hey, no,
Yeah, that's right. That's it. That's it. You got it.
He got it.
Yeah, my buddy's a
Oh.
Pittsburgh fan.
Kyle, you almost got that one wrong. You almost.
I know I did. That's why I'm glad he saved me.
I got you.
I'm glad about that.
Okay.
And then number 5, who did Royce Algier wrestle in the 1988 NCAA tournament finals?
Is it Kenny Monday?
Nope. He works for UCAN.
Oh my god, how did I forget his name? Hold on.
You want the school?
No, it was Penn State, right?
Yep. It was Penn State.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's good,
Hold on.
man. I thought I thought these questions were going to zing you a little bit more, but you fought through, man.
How am I slipping this right now? Oh my goodness! I remember if I pulled up my phone, I got him in my phone. I had to talk with him. It was when I was speaking with Peter. Oh man! Don't do this. I'm running through names.
The Rolodex is going.
I mean, you got to let us know when you want like hints.
You can give me one hint.
Let's see.
I want to say his name was. I might be wrong on this one.
His last
Give me the
name.
hint.
Okay, here's one. His last name is a condiment. Not mustard, not ketchup.
Is it mayo?
Yep.
Is it Frank?
No.
What's? I don't know.
His first
I'm
name
gonna
is
be down
Dan.
for this.
Dan Mayo.
Dan.
Dan Mayo.
It is Dan.
Yep.
I remember Dan. He even pulled it. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. He pulled over. He was driving. He pulled over on the street, literally just to take the call. I could hear everything in the car going on.
Oh,
I
that's
remember.
fantastic.
Sorry, Dan. Love, much love.
All good, man. I think that was
That
four
was the
four out of
last
five, 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah,
Yes, right.
you fought hard, man. I mean, that was a battle. That was a good battle.
It was good.
You got
I like
pushed out
that.
at the end.
I appreciate that.
Sweet. All right. Well, Jordan, this was fun catching up, watching some wrestling and talking nutrition and kind of where you're at and where you're headed.
Always.
We're gonna get out of here, but we're gonna give you the final word. Anything you want to say? Anybody you want to shout out? Tell a joke. Be inspiring. Be funny.
I'm always gonna shout out my team, NYCRTC, Sunkissed, Adidas Wrestling, Eat Clean You Can. But go over and check out the athletes for medical freedom. I think we got a lot of people backing it, and we just want to bring it to attention. And we have a website up. You can go check it out, and we want to bring as much attention as we can to the issue, and have our voice be heard.
Absolutely. Jordan, appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining us as always, and have a great day.
Thank you. You
All right,
too.
thanks.
See you guys.
Later.
Bye.
All right, Jordan Oliver, and that's gonna wrap things up for this show, at least till Christmas. So, Kyle, what's your plans for Christmas?
Let's see. Well, so we're not having shows next week, right? So we don't. Is this our last show of the year? Maybe
it might be. Maybe we may be able to sneak one in here or there. We'll see, but I know schedules are getting tricky.
Okay. Yeah, just hanging here in Cedar for the Christmas holiday. So that you didn't invite me down to Austin or Missouri, wherever you're going to be. So I'm gonna have to hang here with my family.
Yeah, well, I was going to invite you. My family strictly said they didn't want you, so I was like, maybe we'll bring Kyle.
I knew that.
No, Kyle.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I didn't want.
I got outvoted. I don't. He didn't come say hi to Bella at the Christmas party.
Yeah. Felt terrible.
Yeah.
Felt
And then you
terrible.
took your shirt off and sang karaoke. It was wild.
Dude. I can't wait. I want that thing to spread on the internet. I want that to go viral.
We'll get it out there a little bit more because it was good.
Yeah, please do.
All right. Well, that's going to do it, y'all. Thanks for joining us. For Kyle Klingman, I'm Mark Bader. We'll see you. Have a happy New Year and a Merry Christmas. Adios.